Calling the Recreation Commission meeting to order at 6:35. So let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. A reminder that this meeting is being recorded, and the first order of business is to accept the minutes from our past two meetings. If everyone's had a chance to look at it, we're accepting the December 19th meeting minutes and January 14th minutes.
I make a motion to accept the meeting minutes from December 19th and January 14th.
I second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Unanimous. So we're here to go over the playground plans. We have Michael Radner, and I'm sorry, I can't read your name.
So I'll introduce Katarina
Okay.
Kramer, who's my associate from my office.
Nice to meet you. So Michael's prepared.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
Michael's updated our design plans based on our suggestions from, I think it was 2 meetings ago. And he has some questions for us and also some updates. So I'll let you just jump right in, and Nicole will be in a minute.
Can somebody let me share?
Yep.
Do you have a request in to share?
What do I have to do?
It should just allow him to share his screen.
It's not allowing you at all.
Says sharing is not turned on. Host isn't allowing multiple presenter sharing for this meeting.
All right, 1 second. Do you want me to try to go on my
I
computer?
can, yeah, it's still not letting me. I can email it to you. Wow, I did email it to you.
Yeah, I sent it out, and we have a paper version right here.
Do you have it so that you can share it from your screen?
I'm just going to try to sign into the Zoom quickly myself, because I don't know if that would work.
Or I can just start talking.
Sure,
Go for it.
we have it, it's
Yeah.
fine.
Okay. You see the plan page? Does everybody have that?
If you, yeah, 1 second, we have one printed version, and everybody else, I don't know if you guys can jump on your
Yeah.
email or just share. So, yep, we're all on the same page right now, the plan page.
So, I think the big thing here is that when we talked last time, we had this discussion about musical instruments and having a few more items for the little ones, and we kind of took that and ran with it a little bit, and we created that center path that runs through the middle of it, that curvy thing, and the music the music play events are all along that path. So we're starting to think of this as the musical walkway. It's kind of like the musical path that you would go down and play the instruments, and that's what it divides the little kids playground, which is now on the left side, from the bigger kids. I don't want to call it big kids, the bigger kids playground, which is on the right. So it's basically this.
Can you try one more time?
Oh, can you try one more time to see if you
Oh.
can share? Sorry.
Sorry.
And I can.
Oh, cool.
I just think it would make it easier for everybody else.
Yay!
Thank you.
How's that?
Good.
Perfect.
Excellent, thank you.
Good job, Sam.
Well done. Yeah, so this is that musical path, and then we have the top lot on the left side and the bigger kids on the right side. We're looking at doing this, and we can get into the discussion of the play surface, but if we do it all 100% poured in place, there's this pattern. We could use colors here to create a little more interest, a little more fun, and there's really very little, it doesn't really have a cost impact to do these patterns in it, in the way that we're showing. We have been working with a different play company, and this vendor works with two different manufacturers. One is Game Time and the other is called Big Toys. And so this is a Game Time. This is all based on Game Time play equipment. They've been around for many, many years, as has Big Toys. Very high, it's high quality equipment and so forth. So very comfortable with that. And this vendor has been very helpful in providing us advice and cost information, so that we've really refined this quite a bit so that we can hone in better on the cost and the play equipment. So those are the changes to the plan. The elimination of the water is, while disappointing, is on the other hand kind of a great relief, because we didn't have a good fix on where we were going to source the water, and the cost associated with that. It was turning out that it might have been a bigger cost than we had originally budgeted. So it does free up a couple of bucks for us. Let's see, musical path. So hopefully you've had time to take a look at this, and the play pieces are essentially the same functionally, sort of aesthetically, as the last time that we did. So these are the new pieces. The one thing that is actually different from the big net piece, which is this piece here, is, I think that was called the crab trap or something before. And this one has a slide. The other one didn't have a slide. It's kind of on the back here. It's a little hard to see. But this is a handicap transfer platform that you can see in the picture here. And they climb up here, and then they slide down the other side. So there's a lot of, there's really a lot of play events that's associated with this. It's a really, I think it's a really excellent piece. And the others are fairly similar to what we looked at before. The swing set, and we did add the additional 2 swings on that, like we talked about. This was the spinny machine, the seesaw, spring toys, and spring toys kind of have almost an endless variety of graphics that come with that. So this is just an example of that. The sand table, this is something we showed last time. The playhouse for the little kids, the slide, which is embedded in the hillside, and that's a little kids thing. We're actually looking at a 5 foot instead of a 4 foot. It's just a little bit bigger, because we have the room for it. And then we have the musical instruments. And so what we wanted to get your feedback on is this selection of furnishings, which is the benches, picnic tables, trash receptacle, and the bike rack. So what we did was give 3 sort of families of site furnishings. So this is a steel, what we'll call a ribbon, steel ribbon type furnishing. So this is all galvanized, powder coated steel, which you can also get in different colors. Like we could even work off some of the play colors on the play equipment or the surfacing to have, it doesn't have to be black. It could be, we could do something more fun with that. This is a family of furnishings that has wood, or faux wood, if you will, It's a little bit warmer, and, you know, sort of standard picnic table kind. Do you know if this is composite or plastic, or is it, doesn't look like wood?
No, it's the white, it's the yellow pine,
It is yellow pine, okay, so that is wood, so it's just sort of standard,
the yellow pine.
yeah, standard picnic table. And then the last group is this wire mesh that's coated. Also, we did find one that has the musical instrument, the notes on it, which I thought was kind of fun. So this is kind of a look that is a more, you know, you see it more like in athletic facilities with this mesh, but it's all, you know, it's all very durable stuff, and there's no, you know, we were looking for difference in pricing for this, and there really isn't. Like, I can choose any one of these types of benches and get a similar cost. So it's not a question of cost, it's just purely a question of like, what do you want the look to be? And then number of different types of bike racks. These obviously this would get repeated in a row, multiple ones of these three, and this is just a standard ribbon rack for, I think it's 7 bikes on this one. Again, you can see the different colors, and this is all, again, steel, powder coated, you know, very, very durable stuff. And then if I'll just go back to the plan here, this gateway at the entrance, that's what we're looking at here. The idea is that we would do brick piers on either side, and then not this, unless you wanted to spend a lot of money, but we would do sort of simple aluminum picket. It's a little more decorative than the standard fence, which is what we'll have on surrounding the playground. But this is the type of fence that we're looking at to do in between these posts. So it's, you know, a little more of an elevated, improved entrance. So this is an example of the colors on the rubberized surfacing. This is a little bit too complex for us. We wouldn't do something that sort of fussy. I think the broad colors on this one is probably more like what we would be looking for on either side of that central walkway. And then we had this idea, and, you know, I'm not sure that we can afford this yet, but you know, actually wouldn't cost much to do either like an applique of the musical notes on the walkway, or it could be, they have these kind of like stamps that you would go and stamp in the pavement, so it becomes an actual pattern embedded in the pavement. There's different ways to do this, and if you like this idea, we could explore trying to do that in that central walkway.
Okay.
So that's the presentation, and what would you like to talk about first? So I have on I'm going to stop sharing for a moment so I can see everybody. The safety surfacing, the site furnishings, we can go through that again. I wanted to talk about if you wanted to have a light pole or some kind of lighting, because if you look at I'm going to share again. There's a light pole kind of down here, down on the hill, and then there's another light pole that's mounted on like a wood utility pole, sort of at the entrance to site over here. So this is a fairly dark area, and not like this is going to be open at night, but I'm wondering if and maybe it's more of a question for the police department, if they wanted to have a light in this area, because it's fairly dark. Right here. It's just sort of a security idea, and if you do want to have a light, I'm wondering if it can be, I don't know if the town has an electrical contractor sort of under contract that could do some of this work, so that we don't have to do electric as part of this bid. It just kind of gets into a whole different area of you know, pulling wire and conduit and stuff like that. So
Okay.
Could we do a solar light?
You could do a solar light. They have these, so they're like panels and they're a little bit ugly, so the panels are mounted up high. I mean, that is an idea. I don't know I don't know how much illumination you get from those or how long it stays on at night. It may go down at some point, but we could take a look at that. Certainly it would solve the wiring problem.
Right.
Yeah, they're still working on talking to National Grid about the wiring, so I don't have an answer on that one yet, but I can see if they
Yeah.
have a contractor in town that, you know, if we don't go the solar
Sure.
route.
Yeah, for one light pole, you can typically just pull the power from the closest light pole.
Okay,
They'll just dig a trench down and do another conduit.
yep,
And you know, what we could do in the bid documents is have the contractor buy the light and install the footing, pour the concrete for the footing, and do the installation, and then have an electrician pull the wire and basically energize it and turn it on.
okay.
So those are the issues. Do you want to talk about the surfacing?
Yeah, I think we should do that first.
Yeah. So when we deleted the splash pad, you know, that opened up a bunch of money.
Yep,
And we, you know, in addition to adding the play pieces and even that central walkway, which is a new thing, we still came out in our I should share the budget, I guess. So this is an up-to-date budget. We're assuming that the play pieces are purchased directly by the town, but installed by the contractor. And we're at about $700,000 for the project, but that includes 64,000 or so as a contingency. The contingency is just sort of a comfort factor for you guys, like, you know, and to me, it's a big number. Like, for us to have $64,000 of extras on this site, I don't think it's gonna happen. You know, the actual estimate is that 639 number. That to me is the actual, and then it's just like, how much do you want to keep in reserve in case they uncover you know, strange conditions underneath the ground or something like that, or there's some kind of design change that has to happen. It's just unforeseen, right? So so in any event, it's, you know, I think that it falls in the budget. We were always sort of around that $700,000 mark, and you know, I don't want to get hung up too much on a few hundred here and a few hundred there. I mean, this is the designer's estimate, so there's a lot of whole numbers here. I'm not, you know, we're usually pretty close, but we're not exact. You know, it's not contractor pricing. That's all going to be by competitive bid. So the rubber surfacing, I mean, that is a big number. It's $154,000 plus the base. So, but what it does for you is eliminates all issues of ADA accessibility, 100% totally accepted by the Massachusetts Architectural Access Board. It eliminates any tripping hazards that you might, like if this side so I'm talking about this side becoming the wood fiber chips, you get a little, you know, the wood fiber gets kicked around and all of a sudden there's an edge here that you can catch a toe on. It eliminates that sort of liability, and then just the yearly maintenance of the wood fiber surface. It is a yearly maintenance. It's almost like constant that you have to make sure that it's raked and stable and you know, fills up the whole thing. So there's an annual maintenance cost to that, whereas this is this has a good, it's got a 7-year warranty on it. The actual life is about 10 to 12 years, as I understand. So, open for discussion.
If, when you need to replace it, do you have to replace the, I'm sorry, I didn't know what it's called, but the base of it too, or just the rubberized part on top?
You're gonna, it's just the rubberized part. There may be a little bit of replenishment of the stone underneath, because it's like a crushed stone.
Oh, okay.
Underneath. So, well, here's a good question, and quite honestly, I don't know the answer. It's a 2-layer rubberized system, so it may be just the top layer that you need to replace.
Okay.
So let me find out about that, but so it may not be, it's not the whole $150,000 every 10 years.
Yeah, I didn't know if you could get like a better estimate of what we'll need to replace in 10 years.
I will get that.
I mean, obviously, current pricing will be different probably than what it will be in 10 years, but an estimate would be good.
No doubt.
And then the wood chips, I think they were like around $3,000 I was just basing it off another part of the playground.
It's far less.
Oh,
I
like
mean,
for annual maintenance?
It's the rubberized is like $24 a square foot. The 5-bar is like about $52 a square foot. So there's a significant difference for sure.
Okay.
You in the current playground, you do have the rubberized surface.
Yep. I
Down-
think
the
what
one
we
down the hill.
what we were talking about at one of our last meetings was if we didn't do full rubberized surface, if we could use the money for some other play equipment or better equipment. But I guess we just wanted to hear your recommendations and get your input about that.
So we're because of the layout of the playground,
Mm-hmm.
I would say in our fleet it's full.
Yeah.
It's full of
Looks like it is.
many different play events,
Yeah.
and because of the way that they have to be laid out with these different fall zones, the safety zones, there's really no space to pack more in there.
Okay.
So even freeing up the money doesn't, and the equipment is high quality equipment. I mean, you're getting,
Yeah.
you're getting everything that you want in this, in my opinion, plus and the furniture, all for the advertised price, I would say.
Okay. What's everyone's?
I'll add one more thing, that if it goes, if you want to do the fiber surfacing, I am thinking that we may need to change some of this design, because I mentioned as those little tripping hazards, those little reveals, and the fact that it can be considered not accessible by the access board.
Okay.
My recommendation is to do the port in place.
Okay. What do you guys think? I guess our biggest concern is just
Board in
the
place?
10 years, but
Mhm.
This is, I mean, I'm not trying to sell it. I'm giving you my honest
Yeah.
opinion. They're all going this way,
okay.
and the MAAB is going to come out with new guidelines and regulations. And at some point, and in my opinion, they're not going to allow the 5-bar anymore.
Yeah, so we could get 10 years down the line and have to put in rubberized surface anyway?
Anyway,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
and you got the money now.
Yeah. Is everyone okay with that, or?
If we want to replace the rubberized surface in the future, when it wears out, do we need to move all the equipment? Or can we leave the equipment
Oh,
there? And
no.
not replace?
The equipment stays, those supports for all that equipment is set in the concrete footings,
Okay,
30-inch deep. So those, the posts for all that get set first, and then they kind of backfill it, and then they bring in the rubberized surface and trowel it around that. So, yeah, all the play equipment stays exactly where it is.
I agree. Yeah, I think we should go with that.
I think we find out replacement costs before committing to it.
That's a good idea.
yeah, are you able to maybe look a little bit more into if we have to replace the first layer, 2 layers, and then what that difference in cost would be?
Yeah, I'll make that call tomorrow morning.
Okay. And then should we have another meeting on our own to decide on that, or can we move forward?
I think he needs to let us know, and we have to, agree to, or disagree.
Yeah.
He can't make the decision for us, so
Yeah,
we.
yeah.
And what's our crunch
I think
time?
that's fine.
Like, we have town meeting in February, I don't know if this is gonna make it for February, it has to, right?
Well, we have another meeting coming up ourselves, and that was where he was gonna give us a preliminary final design with any changes made tonight. I believe that meeting's on February 11th. Just quickly.
That's correct.
That is, okay.
Will that be too late to get it on the town meeting if we have to?
Might be.
Because isn't
I
the
just
town
don't
meeting the
know.
12th?
Is it, I'm not sure, I think, there is a deadline, I think it's a couple of weeks before, so it's like we have to tell him this week or this week. So we might not make it, I think the agenda's already set for the February, that was a special meeting, so
Right.
the next town meeting, isn't it June?
June.
So we kind of hope that we would have a decision by then, right, to get going on this? Our plan to start breaking ground?
Well, we have to break ground by
Yeah.
July.
Okay, so
July 1st.
I don't think that we can't, I don't know. I was gonna say, I don't think that we can't ask the TA if we could have another, but I'm not sure. I think we would have to wait till June. So,
What would we need to put on the town meeting?
the approval of the plan, right?
I
They
thought we
approved-
could,
Well, so let me just refresh my memory. They approved it without the water, right?
Correct.
And now we have full say of what we wanna do, or do we have to go with
thought
them
so.
again? I guess
We
that's
have
where
to
I'm
double check,
confused.
but I don't think
Yeah.
we need to go before them again.
I didn't
Okay.
think we
All
had to
right.
go
Because
before
it
them
was,
again.
the playground plan got approved without, as long as we take out the splash
The
pad.
water, okay, so
And
then I
we've
think
taken
we're
out
all
the
set.
water.
But I think we still need to hear the answer to the cost of those
Yes.
layers before, and then we should probably have another meeting.
Before February 11th?
No, I think February 11th is fine, isn't it?
Yes, it's like 2 weeks away.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think as long as we make most of our decisions tonight, and that's like a quick stamp of approval on February 11th, you basically have the design ready to go anyway, right? I mean, as it
Correct.
is,
Yes.
so.
If I can find out this, I mean, pending any other decisions tonight, if we can get all the decisions, if I can get you the information in the next day or two,
Yep,
and then you could, you know, obviously, you can't vote on it, but you can sort of, well, I don't know what you could do legally, but signal to me which way you want to go on it.
okay.
Without having an official meeting, we'll be ready on the 11th.
Okay. All right, so we'll wait to hear from you about that, and then we will make the final decision on the 11th, but I'll pass along that information to everybody in the meantime.
Great.
So I guess our final answers are that Mike's gonna find out about the cost of the layers for material and maintenance wise. And we have to find out from the police if they need or want us to have some sort of light over there.
Yeah,
And if they do, or if they don't, do we as a board want it to be something that we can tap into electricity or solar?
yep,
So those were the two things that we really had final questions on.
yes.
All right.
And we might have more, depending on how the rest of the agenda goes. I think the other, you wanted to go over the site furnishings. and get our opinion on
Oh.
those
Yeah,
too.
let's tackle the other elephant in the room, which is the, purchase of the equipment, the
Oh,
play equipment
yes.
and the furnishing.
Yep,
So this, FAC 122 program that the state has allows the town to purchase directly through combis, all of these items, and it's a significant portion of your budget, and there's a 10% discount associated with that, so, I mean, to me, it's a no-brainer. I understand that John Ruda wanted to get free prices, which we can do. 2 of them are through the vendor that we're working with. That'll be the Game Time and the Big Toys, and then we have a third manufacturer as well, so as soon as we kind of get through this tonight and we make, I get your blessing on the final selections, I'm gonna send it out to these 3 manufacturers and get 3 prices, and then we'll just compare it. Then
Okay.
you can approve it on the 11th.
yep,
So, but, you know, if you wanna, if your choice is to, not use this program to buy it, then it's all gotta be incorporated into the bid documents, and then it becomes a competitive it's a competitive bid situation anyway, because you're gonna look at the pricing. But I don't think you're not obligated to go at the low price if we go through the FAC 122 program. You can choose. You can choose whatever you want. We're just getting the prices so you know what the prices are. But they're all gonna be very competitive with each other.
Okay.
If we put the playground equipment into the bid contract, and the general contractor is gonna buy it themselves, they're gonna give you the cheapest one
oh, okay,
out of the 3. So it gives you more control. You get a 10% discount, which on, you know, $200,000 worth of equipment is nothing to sneeze at. $20,000 savings.
So, cheap cost-wise, not quality, just to be clear, right?
It's all high quality.
Okay,
I
I
wouldn't,
just wanna make sure, sometimes
wouldn't
that,
give you.
Basically, what it's saying is that if we put it in the bid documents for the contractors to buy the equipment,
they're gonna pick it.
they're gonna pick the cheapest possible, so they make the most money off of it. But if we buy it ourselves and the contractors are just installing it, then we have a lot more control over what we're paying for the
Yeah,
equipment.
no, I got that.
And
I
we know
just-
the
Just wanted to
quality.
make sure it's not cheap quality, it's cheap price. So I just wanted to make that clear for those folks listening
Well,
at home, so.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
you know, nothing's cheap.
No, absolutely, yeah, I get it. All right, just, it's good to say it out
So
loud.
it's all good quality. I mean, the reason, they're on the state list for a reason.
Mm-hmm,
So, you know, it's health, safety, and welfare for, you know, first of all. It wouldn't be on the state list if they didn't get approved to be, so
okay.
I have a high degree of trust in that.
all right.
So that's another item that you'll get us, and then we can make a final decision on that again on the 11th.
I will, yeah, and I'll push these guys to, I'll send them out to the 3
Okay,
manufacturers, and we'll get it back as quickly as we can, certainly before the 11th.
okay,
We'll give them a week.
sounds good.
So, yeah, let's take a look. Do you want me to share again for the furniture?
Yes.
Good there. Whoops. Okay. So option A, all steel, very durable. The picnic tables, by the way, are set in like on a wood chip surface. It's not, it's movable. I mean, they're heavy, so you can't cart them around, but they're not bolted down to pavement. They're kind of, let me go back to these are the picnic tables here. So this is like a wood chip surface. And then this is a lawn area, like a play lawn area. So these kind of float. The benches are gonna be mounted on concrete pad at the outside edge of this walkway. And then there's a couple of picnic tables in the woods.
Okay.
So option A option B, which is wood, a little bit warmer. You know, the thing people worry about this is that, are the kids gonna come, somebody's gonna come here with like a penknife and carve their initials into it or something, so.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's nice, these are really comfortable, you know, nice warm tones to these. Or you do something like this, which is the mesh.
I like option C.
Yeah, so do I.
I was gonna say A or C, so I'm good either way. What do you think, Nicole?
I'd agree.
Yeah, and I'm just, out of curiosity, Mike, could we do, right, it's Mike, right, yeah. Could we do, if we pick A or C, you said they're in different colors, could we do, like 2 different colors, so we have a variety, or does that cost extra to do one set in blue, one set in red?
I don't think there's any difference in cost.
I'm just, like, that might brighten it up a little
Yeah.
bit too.
Yeah. It's good
Yeah, I
idea.
definitely like the musical instrument notes on the blue one.
Yeah, it's
Cute.
different.
I think it's kinda neat.
Yeah.
Mm.
So do you guys wanna go with C, just to make a decision tonight?
Yes.
So do
Do
we
we-
have to vote?
Do
Might
this,
as well
this
just make it
bench and
official.
then these.
Say that again?
Sorry, you wanna do the benches like the musical notes?
Yes.
And then these, and so we're not gonna do this bench here.
How many benches are there again? 6?
6.
And there's no cost difference between the 2 different benches?
Between these two,
Yeah. Or minimal, I guess.
offhand, I don't know, Kat, did we get a price on this?
I mean, I guess we could bring this to the February
it's-
11th too.
Yeah, I mean, if
Then we'd have
if
to
this is
vote
out of
then.
sight,
Yeah.
if it's out of sight, I'll let you know.
Okay.
And we can always go back to this.
You wanna do 3 and 3 or?
And there's no way to do both benches, like, I don't know, maybe 1 or 2 of the musical
You
one?
can do
and-
anything you want, if you're gonna.
Yeah.
All right, well, maybe we, wait till the 11th, just so maybe Jen will be here and we can all just make every
I'll tell
decision
you what,
then.
we'll price these out,
All right,
and I'll let you know what that is.
okay,
Okay.
that sounds good.
I mean, worst came to worst, we could put the musical one at the end of the walkway and then the regular ones along the 2 sides.
Mm-hmm.
So then we could have one on it, like one
Mhm.
cute fun one and then the regular
Yeah.
ones
Yeah.
around the edges.
And then for the bike racks, I'm guessing it doesn't really matter which one we would pick, the colors can match if we wanted them to, or?
Sure.
I kinda like the blue squiggly one, it seems like it's
This
easy to
one?
use, yeah.
That's what I was thinking, like
You know,
everyone
the other
will know
one's
what
like,
that
are
is.
These are climbers.
Right.
I was actually thinking that too.
The ribbon rack?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's classic.
Yeah.
And what do you guys think of our approach to the gateway?
I like the gateway, but I was just wondering, like, if you're entering the playground as a young family, is it gonna be easy to shut the gate, or is the gate open, or like, how is it with little kids being in there? Will it be a simple
Well-
thing to figure out, or will it be?
Yeah, I think we need to figure out the hardware here, but I think what's gonna happen is that one leaf will be, stationary, that'll be a little close to
Oh.
the ground,
Okay,
and then they'll just swing open the other one, but this is, this is 8 feet, open between here, so you need a
Gotcha.
4-foot clear for ADA, so basically, you can see a little bit here, oh, this is a good example here, the right one has a little post in the ground.
mm-hmm,
So that's stationary, and then the left one is the one is the operable gate.
okay.
Yeah, cause you gotta make the gate wide enough so you can fit a double wide stroller through there.
Should be plenty.
Okay.
And
Before
where,
gate.
and we wouldn't have like would we have the words on top, like one of your options, or is that just a example?
No, it was just the picture that we found.
Okay,
Unless you have, unless we have some money left over in the end, it's something we could explore.
Okay.
Let's see how the bids come in.
yeah, true,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I should also that we put a double wide maintenance gate over here, a double lead, so that you can, DPW, if they need to drive in for any reason,
oh, okay. That's a
they
good
can get
idea.
in, at this end of the parking lot.
Mhm.
And this is the bike rack location, by the way. So it's outside
Where?
the actual playground.
That's what I was gonna ask you.
Where's your squiggly?
It's like I think it's down at the bottom. Yeah, we
Um,
can't really see the mouse.
Sorry.
Oh, okay.
It's here before you go in, it's right, the bikes will be here.
Can you show us
You see
again where
that?
the DPW gate was?
On the lower right, over
Okay.
here.
So what happens if they need to access the wooded area, like to clear brush or to, I don't know,
Yeah, they can get
they
in
can
through
get
here.
in and just, it will be
Yeah.
able to pass
And
through?
it'll be wide enough for, like a pickup truck.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is the wooded area
Another-
fenced in?
What?
Yes. Yep, the fence goes sorry, no.
I'd say it's not fenced in.
Oh, so they
Back
can
up,
just
back
go.
up, I'm sorry. The fence only surrounds this.
Playground?
Yeah, the
Here,
play, the
here.
playground.
Oh,
I-
gotcha.
Yeah,
Alright.
the wooded area is
Yeah,
not
I forgot
inside,
about that.
that's outside the fence line. So you actually, if you wanna go into the wooded area, there's gonna be a gate here and a gate here.
Okay. And the
So-
back gate will just be like a simple fence
Yeah,
gate,
just
nothing
like
special?
with a U-shaped hardware that you just lift up.
Okay.
Yeah, swing gate.
Yeah, I have no, issues with the fence. Is there anything you guys
Do
think
we
about?
really need brick columns for an entryway, especially where we're not gonna have like an arch with a name over it? I'm just
Yeah.
saying, like, do we really actually need that?
I mean.
It's gonna look out of place with the rest of everything else being more low key.
Mm-hmm.
What is I guess you could potentially look up the difference in cost if we remove the bricks, or is that even a possibility? Like, we would probably have to go with a different gate, or would we?
No, it's the piers are probably a $5,000. I think we carried $5,000 for those. It's not a huge thing to do. It was just our way of, where is it? Playground. Oh, here we go. Yeah, 5,000.
Yeah.
Just a way to signify the entrance, like it just creates a special place.
Mm-hmm.
Are there other options other than brick? And not necessarily as big and gaudy as that? It looks out of place, like the bottom picture looks fantastic because there's a big sign connecting the two, making it look like an entryway, but the top, just, it's gonna
Like
look,
Elvis
it's gonna look out of
Presley.
place with everything else. That's my opinion anyway.
I guess if there's a cheaper option, then we have reserve money, more reserve money.
Right.
Sorry, Mike.
I mean, it looks nice,
It sure does.
with everything, with the overall theme and idea of it, I just
Mhm.
think it's gonna look out of place.
Are there other options that are typically used that you could offer us on February 11th? Or is this like what most people
I
would
mean,
do?
if you simply eliminate the piers and just go with the gate as we're showing it here, you could do that. Just keep in mind that there's gonna be a chain link fence on either side. The piers kind of help separate the materials.
Yeah,
But if this then just turns into a chain link fence, I think you're losing something. It's kind of blah to me, but,
Could we make it out of fieldstone?
I think the bottom isn't brick, if you look at the bottom
That's
picture.
fieldstone.
this is,
Like that.
this is like a stone veneer.
Yeah,
So it's basically the same construction, which is, it's gonna be like a CMU block core, and then this veneer just, goes on with, mortar on it. Or we could do, cause you can see this is kinda has these rectangular, this is like an ashlar pattern. Fieldstone is more rounded, we could do that as well. It's a little more, it's an informal look.
Well, and that's just it, like, I don't necessarily wanna get rid of any kind of like pillars or anything on the side, but just the brick just isn't gonna work with the rest of how everything
Yeah.
else looks.
What we do and when we try and think about materials is we look for references that are around here. The only reference that I see is town hall, which is brick.
Yeah, and I was gonna say that it would match that,
So
at least.
that's kind of what we went with rather than a fieldstone, which doesn't match anything that's around here.
Mhm. All right, maybe we think about that and put that on February.
Put that on the agenda
Yeah.
as well. You all can think
We'll,
about it.
we'll think about that
And
one a
maybe
little
look
bit more.
around town and see
Yeah,
what else is
that's true.
kind of strikes your fancy.
Okay.
Trying to think if there's any other
And
items here.
well, I think, did you want us to make a decision about the musical path at all, or is that just a suggestion if we had more?
Well, I just figured you guys loved it and, you know.
Yeah, we're good as long as we can fit it in the budget.
This is all, Kat, take a bow for this because she's the one who really came up with this idea. In fact, Kat did most of the work on this.
Yeah, I mean, I think it looks cool, but,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I love the pictures of the examples of the
Yeah,
actual instruments. Those ones are ones that I've seen at many other parks that are always covered with kids because they're a lot of fun.
mhm.
yeah. I love it.
Okay.
It gives us a theme. Oh, the name of the playground, which was part of the, I guess did town meeting choose this or something? You know, I don't know who this gentleman is, but are we calling it the Richard Kamignani Playground? Playground needs to be
Isn't
spelled
that what
right.
it is
but-
out there now?
I
I
honestly have no
would,
idea.
I don't know, I think we've brought up naming opportunities before and we were told we could talk about it at our meeting, so I don't really know where this name came from, but I can look into it.
We
I know
never
who the
discussed
man
it.
is, but,
I don't know who it is, it's his dad, right?
Yeah, it's his dad.
I would love to call it the Mr. Pear Playground, something, the Be Better
I know.
Playground or in honor of Mr. Pear, but I don't
well,
know.
I will look into that and
Well,
see if it's an
for-
official name already or not.
I don't know that it's something we need to know now. I just, for our contract documents, we're just gonna call it Dudley Playground or Town Hall Playground, if that's okay with you.
Mhm.
That's fine.
It's a lot less to
Don't need
constantly
to,
write
I
over
don't
and
know
over
that it
again.
needs to have,
Because nobody can even pronounce that name.
I just didn't know if that name had a significance that somebody was gonna be put off by not seeing the name on the documents.
Well, possibly, but I'll ask about that tomorrow and get you an answer, but it should be fine just to put Dudley Playground for now.
Sounds good.
Okay.
I know on the original agenda you sent me, you were talking about overall project budget and schedule. Are there any questions about that, or are we all kind of on the same page now where I think we're gonna make the majority of these decisions on February 11th, and then if it all passes and there's no more additional changes, are we pretty much good to approve it and,
Are you, can you explain to me the town meeting decision as it relates to the budget? We've been working off of this 700 number.
to my
And
yeah.
so my,
I believe that's what was agreed to, and I don't think we need to go back to the town meeting.
We can confirm that, but.
I will confirm that, but it was my
Okay.
understanding that it now is under the Recreation Commission and we can
Mhm.
move forward.
I think all we needed to do was change the water.
Yeah, get rid of the water features.
right,
That was the
Okay.
requirement that was voted on at town meeting.
We'll say yes, but you have to get rid of the water.
it's been communicated thoroughly to me.
Yes.
There's absolutely no
Same.
water
Us
now.
too. Thirsty, everyone's thirsty.
Bring a water bottle.
Exactly.
We talked about that last meeting, right, about water fountains?
Yeah, there's no water fountains now.
Okay. Boo. Okay.
I did, as
Yes
part
and
of
no,
my email.
that's not necessarily a bad thing. Sorry, go ahead.
I did outline some, because of the additional meetings that we have attended, we were asking a small amount in additional services for our fees.
Mhm.
That was on my email of January 21st, Alicia.
Was that to me?
I'm sorry, who said that?
I said, was that sent to me? Alicia? Or was
Yes.
that, oh, really? Okay, I did not
That
see
had
that.
the agenda items that we just went through, and then below the line.
Okay. I did not
Um,
see that, so I'll have to talk to Olivia tomorrow about that.
And I can revise that because now I put the Water Sewer Commission in there, but now we're not doing that.
No.
So that number can get smaller.
Can
But
you just
I would
reset-
like to,
Yeah, could you resend
Yeah.
that to me, cause I don't see it and I have a lot of emails in this.
I'll put it in a letter, on a letterhead.
Yeah,
so that it's
that'd be
more
good.
official.
Thank you.
Sure. Okay.
All right.
Any other criticisms, comments?
I don't have any.
Good to me.
No, sir.
Okay, I think, Kat, we have the answers that we have direction.
Direction.
And almost answers. You have some answers.
Yeah, but this is why I wanted to do this tonight and not wait for the 11th.
Yeah.
Because now we can really finalize everything, and the drawings are in good shape. I'm just gonna take one more minute of your time because the colored plan is just that. And this is a draft set of drawings. So there's technical drawings, and we have a site demolition plan. We have a materials plan that calls out all of the play equipment and the surfacing materials. There's a layout plan that has dimensions. There's a grading plan because the world is not flat. And then we have all of our construction details, and this is all in process. So as we work our way through these decisions of like the piers and stuff, this will get modified and we'll specify the bench and so forth.
Okay.
There's our play mound with our embedded embankment slide, and some other things. So I just wanted you to be aware that it's not just the one plan, and and then there's a whole set of written specifications that go with this, and I'll need to work with, is it Olivia? And the town administrator's office?
Yeah.
To pull the bid documents together and the bidding process.
Okay. Great.
So, onward.
Alrighty, well, I will wait to hear your email, and then I think I have a few things that I owe you, so we'll be in touch over the next few days.
Great. Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you both.
thanks,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Have a good night.
You
Thank
too.
you.
Have a good night.
You too.
Bye.
Alrighty. Any miscellaneous items?
I just got one question.
Oh.
Sure.
If the rubber surface needs to be replaced in 10 years, where are we gonna get that money from?
That's what everyone's going to ask.
Because we don't want it to
But
be.
we have to have some rubberized surface anyway, so it's like,
Well-
what's the difference in cost really gonna be?
Well, that's just it, and in terms of the salaries of the maintenance workers who work for the town that we have to pay to maintain and replace and replenish the wood chips, like,
You add it up, like what's,
It-
you gotta,
that's just it.
Factor that in.
What is it gonna come down to is probably gonna end up being a wash. But I think
Oh, right.
knowing if we have to replace both layers and some crushed gravel underneath, or just have to re-pour the top
Yeah.
layer,
it's
Yeah.
good to know anyway.
Right.
You know, even if we move forward.
I like the rubber better.
the rubber's safer and the
But-
rubber is way more ADA compliant.
Are we gonna have to put it up to the town to vote on to get the money to replace this surface?
Oh, we would definitely have to do
Probably.
that, but.
But that's 10 years down the road's problem.
But okay, but that's something we can do though, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
it would end up being another situation like this. Broken playground, does we shut it down until we get the money to fix it, or do we get the money to fix it?
That's what I don't want to happen.
I guess my thoughts is like, if we had the choice between all wood chips and all rubberized surface, then yeah, we probably would go the wood chip, way, but that's not ADA compliant, so we're already going to do half and half anyway, so we gotta kinda like look at that and see if
Yeah.
it even makes sense.
And then there's the consideration that if we were to switch back to wood chips, then you'd have to change the design again and change
Cost
some of
us
the
more.
equipment to be able to accommodate the
And
wood
then-
chips and not the rubberized surface.
And we might not be in compliance next year or something, right?
Right.
That's what he said, it could be 10 years down the line, and they'd make us put the rubberized surface in
Yeah,
anyway.
Right.
Or cover with those pads like what Mason Road has.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, right,
You mean,
yeah.
me toenails, I had to bandage up. Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Those wood chips at Mason Road really hurt. They go through my flip-flops every summer.
Oh,
There's another thing for wood chips. Don't wear flip-flops.
But yeah, I mean, I think that it's good, the rubberized surface is gonna be fine. It would be good to have that information in case
Yeah.
somebody comes up and asks.
Okay,
right.
that's a good idea.
Better to have the information than not, and then to be scrambling to find it, or,
Mhm.
Because, yeah, obviously it's gonna change in price in 10 years.
Exactly, but just a ballpark idea of, so it costs 153 grand to put in, but it's only gonna cost 18 grand to refinish that top layer in 10 years.
Yeah.
Or it's gonna cost $95,000 to re-put that back in 10 years. Like, that's a big difference.
Right,
So just knowing what it's gonna be is
Mhm.
yeah.
All right.
I agree.
helpful, even if it's just for our own knowledge.
Right.
You good?
Yep.
Make a motion to adjourn.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We adjourn at 7:35.